Right then, that was ultimately an easy win in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, we played well. They've got a few players back, Blyth, and we should have been a couple up at half time. So they probably thought they were still in the game. But all credit to Morph. That was the type of goal that he wouldn't have got last year. We had the chat in the summer about having fire in your belly and turning sort of 50-50, 40-60 balls against him into his ball. He did that. He muscled him off. 2-0. Game over.
Well, we're playing really, really well going into. I know we've got Solihull Tuesday, but the big game next Saturday. It's a good omen, isn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah, it can come as quickly as it goes. But I said to the lads, I want you to play with a swagger and a confidence. But if you haven't got the commitment, the desire, and the effort, that would count for nothing. And it was all there. We played well all game, really. Like I said, we should have been a couple up at half time. And long may that continue. There will be games when we got to grind it out. But if we can play like that, I'll be happy.
Well, I think we came away from Harrogate pointless because of the lack of depth in the squad. But it's the opposite now. We've got loads of players there, haven't we?
Yeah, we've got Steve Davis and Jack Harris not even involved today, and so yeah, that's good. And what it let me do with Webby on 4 bookings at 2-0, we can get him off. The game's opening out. Lockie can get on the ball a lot more than he can at the start of the game. Got Charlie Rees involved, so that was good. And it was, I was umming and ahhing who to take off, and when they had the sending off, it was good to have Adam Mann and Charlie, two wide players that can happen. And obviously, Manny set up the goal for Jake Harris, will give him confidence as well.
That sending off, was it harsh or not?
Possibly, yeah. Lockie's challenge wasn't too clever after. I nearly took him off, and I probably will if that does again. Because we can't, with a small squad, we can't afford suspensions like that. That's why Coopy come off, because he's on 3, and we don't want him to go to 4 or 5. So yeah, all in all, good day for us.
Well, looking at the team at the end, I think there was 4 lone players on the team on the pitch. Is that too many, or is that you playing the system well?
Just playing the system well. I think you're allowed up to 5, so that's fine. And Lewis is they're hungry, aren't they? You can see Charlie Rees is hungry. Lewis Carey's been superb since he's come in and settled in well. Jake Harris just wants to get going with his career after the injury problems he's had, and that's great that he got the goal right at the end. And Tyler, he knows all about us, doesn't he? So, at the end of the day, 2 of them have got on the sheet today, so that's good news.
Well, you've just signed Lewis for another month, haven't you? Is he going to be here till we're at the FA Cup?
Probably, yeah. I have spoken to him about that, and they know the situation with Greenie as well. But we've given him the opposite. It's worked well for both. No one knew about Lewis Carey, and they were touting him around lower league clubs, and they wouldn't take the chance. But we took the chance, and now he'll be able to go to play. He could go and play in the conference or higher, to be perfectly honest. And he's done really well. And who's to say that I won't keep him after that, after the cup game, because he has done that well.
So quickly tell us about Charlie Rees. It's a sign of how we've come on that we're now getting players who've got a fair deal of Football League experience, isn't it?
Yeah, he, at this precise moment, he's just not in in Rovers' plans, so he's hungry to do well and prove people wrong, and that's how it should be. And you can see he wants to do a bit, and he's a good acquisition to the squad. And like I said, there are a couple teetering with 3-4 bookings, so I can do what I did today with the Coopies and Webbies of this world. So and they know that if they're not quite on it, I can drop one of them in.
Well, I have been asked to ask you, do you need an assistant manager and a coach?
Yeah, well, that's the first thing I said after. I said, where should we send them next week? But they've obviously been doing a scouting mission today, and we'll see what they got to say.
And I will ask as well, right at the end there was a bit of a strange shout come from the terrace behind you. Someone wasn't happy, were they?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's one of those sort of bit back a little bit, and then Jake scored to shut him up. But at the end of the day, he's played his money. He's entitled to his opinions. But there's times and places, and when we've played as well as we have today, there's no need for that. You look at it. If players are 100% all game, they go and get a gash on their leg, their head, like Tom Hamlin. And if Matt Locke goes around at 100 miles an hour, he gets sent off, and then I haven't got him in 2 weeks' time. It was a job done. It was decent. It must have been decent to watch. And apart from Tom's forehead, everybody else has come through the game unscathed, and it was just a bit of a stupid comment, really.
Well, okay, let's finish here. But Solihull Tuesday night, they did the double over us last year, I believe. They're struggling this year, though, so we go there looking to win, surely.
Well, they've beaten Nuneaton today, so you know, and they've got a few ex-Rovers players in. Obviously, Bignett, the manager, they've got Richard Walker, I think Hinton, so they've got some experienced players, and they'll be on a little bit of a roll. They want to get on a roll, they want to go into the cup game that they've got as well in good form, and they'll know that if they beat us, that will drag us nearer to them. So it'd be a tight game. It's probably one that we could both do without, with the cup on Saturday, but you know, we surely we can't play as bad as we did last year. With Mark Richards and Rosie getting dropped last year, so the warning's there that I don't want a performance like that, because that was our worst performance last season.
Thank you, Boris.